these four categories, the fields which were not produced or by the major companies or PSCs like Oil India were given to small companies so that they can bring up production from these fields.
Let me tell you a story.
So that to compensate
There was
that
a very
10%.
wise
So I am working on a big project in PEC now.
Swamiji,
So
who used to go from one
energy
village to the other
and
and telling moral
emission
stories to
reduction
people.
by
He used
30 to
to
35%.
encourage people, tell them how to live life better.
30,000.
But in one of the villages, there was a very naughty boy.
2050, not 2005. I'm sorry for that.
Because naughty boy was very
Just
small.
come to know.
Pure naughty boy.
This is 2030 to
So there was
2050.
a
And
naughty boy.
achieving 150 gigawatt renewable energy capacity by 2020. So these are the new India's energy policy. Just I want to give you a hint so that you can have an idea where the oil and gas lies.
was going from one village to another.
I am emphasizing again and again that oil and gas will be one of the prime source of energy for us maybe 2020, I'm sorry, 2050 onward, maybe up to 2070, when our dependence on oil and gas will be reduced to 40%.
By this time, you may know
Hello.
what story I'm trying
So,
to tell you. I've heard this story many times.
This is energy mix.
So this
Now,
boy came
world
to the
energy mix
house
is the world is moving here from the overwhelming dependence on
Okay?
fossil
And he
fuels.
asked, Swamiji,
As we know, of late,
I
at
want to ask you a
2005,
question. Yes, my son, please ask.
we have seen that
I have
people
a
are
butterfly in my hand.
using less and less oil and
What
gas
am I
now,
now?
and they are going for
You have to
more
tell me whether this
renewable
butterfly
energy.
is alive or dead.
So from 2005 level
Easy question.
till 2015,
Not fellow, this
share of
one, not
oil has
fellow.
been fallen from 35
So
to
if the
36%.
Swamiji says
People are
the
using
butterfly
that.
is
Earlier
alive,
it was 36%, it is now
just
33%.
one press. No?
And but natural gas has increased to 22 to 24%. So renewable energy, including
If the Swamiji says no, the butterfly is dead, what do you do?
going up from
He can
12.5 to
open his
20%.
hand, allow the butterfly.
So we
So what do you
are
think
going
was
away
the
from the
answer
oil and
from
gas.
Swamiji? I already put that
By
on the screen.
2040, India per
Swamiji gave
capita
a very
energy
wise
consumption will
answer.
be
So then the boy know that the Swamiji is not fake, he is a real wise man. What was the answer?
kg oil equivalent per capita at 12 but to 2000 level to 1055 to
Excellent. Almost close answer.
1088 kilogram oil equivalent per capita in
Anybody can guess?
the share of non-oil best capacity will be now electricity mainly produced from oil and gas or coal. That's the fossil fuel. By 2015
You know what the Swamiji
to
said?
20 by
Whether the
2020
butterfly is going to be alive or dead, it is in
by
your
2020 to 2030 our electricity use will be 57% of
Same
non-fossil
applies to
fuel
us
dependent.
also.
Maybe
Maybe there are so many opportunities that come.
maybe
But using or misusing the opportunity
or
is in
maybe
whose hands?
solar or maybe
You've been selected to attend this seminar. Whether to
So,
attend attentively and get
whatever
points and
is
lessons
your-
from it is in your hands, not in the resource person's hands, not in the
I
organization.
am just
You can do
reducing
the best
this.
to give the program. But if you want to, it's your choice. No, I want to learn something, it's again your choice. Okay? Life is, decision is in your hands. So,
Okay. So this is the
keeping
whole
all
side.
these
So
truths
to
in
up to
mind, that you
forecasting up to
be created very
2050.
specially,
So you
and there
can
are no
see
duplicates.
that,
We're going to look into some basics
yes.
of self-care.
And mainly,
Now, I want
that
you to
very
talk.
core part will be still there.
Self-care didn't get the ordinary
In
mind
2050.
level, practical things.
And nuclear will be very
If you have one
less.
answer, you can raise your hand. So that there is
And
overlap.
our oil
Self-care
and gas
concepts
still
are
there
what
in
comes to
a.
mind. Yes, sir.
So of course, there is applied
Fitness, wow, nice. Okay, Kaitharila Hormone, fitness.
oil and gas by
Now that
2050.
brings me to a. Yeah, please.
So this you can see, this is projection up to 2050.
Diet
Oil energy forecast.
Okay, fitness is yes, madam.
Which not
Meditation and yoga, very good. Okay, let's clap for her also. Meditation and yoga. But yoga meditation, quite a sorrow.
So
Ah.
next is that
Please, I'll give you
where
some-
this energy will come from?
Okay, if you think 5 star is bad for health,
We have
give it
seen
somebody.
the energy,
Discipline.
main
Can you
energy
give a
is
little more details?
77%
Means,
will be given by NOC only.
what do you mean by
And so
discipline?
small companies who will be there,
The example of
NOC will be there, equity share. So this is increasing resource utilization, nationalization, diminishing the access. So non-OPEC struggling to increase production.
Respecting, okay, let's give that.
Competition is
All
great.
right, yes, sir.
So deep water will be dry, will
Louder, please.
drive growth.
Very important.
So in ENP, oil and gas,
Mental health.
deep water has
Wow, let's start with this trend
So
also.
deep water exploration will be there for coming years. The technology answer to the energy transition, technology and techniques. So now this energy transition, since energy transition taking place, so technology is the answer for this transition. Whether it is solar energy, hydrogen energy, nuclear energy, whatever, or ENP industry. So since I will talking mostly on oil and gas, so our technology developing oil and gas, I will be discussing on that issue. So it depends that first let us understand what is technology and what is techniques. We are mixing up to technology.
So I'm going to focus a little more today on self-care, not on fitness.
These are very closely related, but technology, if you have a technology that you do not have techniques, that technology may not work. Suppose you have, for example, you have got a very costly car or latest development, latest model car. But if you do not drive, you do not have the driving techniques and see how to negotiate with the bad road condition, if the car will not respond to you. Similarly, in ELP is also similar.
Control your body so that your body is
Suppose you are using a beat,
you are not a fitness freak person.
If you abuse the
start
beat,
doing some exercises,
like
from
say
today
you
onwards.
hammer on the beat, you
Here the statements are
just
there.
running it
This
very
statement
hard
are
to the beat in the hard formation.
This statement
So
on
beat
the
may fail. So these are the techniques. And but the beat has got a very good technology developed, new technology. It will definitely do its job provided you allow him to do that.
Which place is this instruction given quite
To
often?
allow him to do the job is the technique, and
Yes, sir.
doing the job is the
Aeroplanes, very good. Let's clap for it. Okay.
tool and equipment. So that is the technique is a style or way of doing a thing or activity in a particular way, but technology refers to the complex process and principles of science used in gadgets and applications. So we can see different people apply different technique while using same technique.
Okay. In the aeroplanes, when you travel, they give a very
Suppose you have a good man motor.
instruction.
Man motor
When the
is
pressure
a
drops.
But if you are using, like if you are not allowed to work is honest limit, you are using
When the air pressure drops like habit, there will be oxygen mask which
or
falls
bad handling is a technique.
compartment. Okay, those
But
who travel in
this
aircraft, you know
piece of
that.
equipment
That's
is
a
bound to
simple
work on this technology.
First, put on
If you
your
lower it, give the proper GPM
then
amount,
you can
it
help
has to rotate and it
other
will do
people. The
its
same
job.
apply to our
So that is the
COVID
technology.
mask also. Okay, first keep
So different
yourself
people apply different
safe,
techniques
then you
by
can
using the same
help others.
technique. It depends on the skill level of the person. That's why skill is depend
Go out
mainly
and
depends on
you
the
don't want to be a
technique.
big problem to others.
Technique is mainly
Okay,
depend
so
on the
this is a
skill.
simple instruction.
You have
to
good
which
skill,
I
you have better technique.
start
You can
off
better
with.
use the
You may be
better way.
engineers who want to do big things.
Technology
for the
gives
country.
the advantage to make the appliances
Do
smarter
something for
and
India, for the world, for mechanical engineering,
efficient.
for electronic speed.
So difference between
But
technology
even
and
before we
application
go
of science and
to
engineering
others,
takes the step
we
of
need to
technology.
first
Technique is a manner or procedure that allows one to accomplish the same sort of task. The drilling process is a combination of successful use of both drilling techniques, depends on the skill level of the person
somebody
and
comes
the
and asks,
drilling.
sir, give me 10 rupees for a cup
So,
of tea.
real
If you
drilling
don't have 10 rupees in
techniques
your
termed
pocket,
as drilling philosophy are applied while carrying out drilling operations. So this is the point I want to make it here is
So if you want
what
to
is
help
the
people around in the
between
world
technology
through
and
your
a
studies
technique.
or social work
So,
or good deeds
A
or
technique is a
activity,
manner
it should be first in your
or
pocket.
procedure that
It's not
allows
there.
one to accomplish the some sort of task. It's a manner, it's a procedure to work. But technology is a
Read it again.
combination of use of both drilling techniques. Technology is a application of science and engineering. So drilling process is a combination of successful use of both drilling techniques. Depends on the level of the person and the drilling. Ideal drilling techniques and the drilling philosophy are applied. This you can understand yourself.
I don't know how many of
What makes difference of technology and technique. Drilling technology for petroleum
Now
industry.
listen to the instruction.
So drilling is a vast subset of whole ENP industry. Whenever you talk about drilling or
Stand in
oil
your
and
places
gas,
when I say, okay?
like
Put backs down,
it is a
stand in your
totally
place.
technology
And you
based
have to find a partner. Then it is that.
subject.
Is it okay?
This is
There are odd numbers, I'm
technical
sure somebody else can.
So you definitely do not think that it is just rotating a bit at bottom and make a hole. Making a hole that is a usable hole. When we are talking about a usable hole, making a hole is not a problem. But it's a problem, big problem. But usable, making a
Find a partner.
hole is
Find a partner. Boys not girls.
make a hole of 300, 3,000 meters or 4,000 meters, 5,000 meters. Can be used for extracting oil and gas safely is the main challenge to the drilling technology. So now I am coming to the drilling technology.
That's the problem.
So it is a highly skilled and knowledge-based sector of the E&P industry.
Standing alone, call
And since we know, since the discovery of oil and gas, since people used to drill holes, people know that oil is there at the beneath of the earth or at suitable reservoirs. So we have to go there and we have to take out the oil. So people know it from very beginning. So initially they have dug oil. They have dug wells with using some primitive kind of tools. Then they go for the purpose of drilling, and then ultimately they have used rotary drilling type. And rotary drilling is one of the most efficient drilling technology developed in maybe in 1800, early 1900 years. And development drilling technology is a century-old technology, and still development is constantly still developing. We know oil discovered in 1860 onwards. Since then, people are using drilling technology to drill well for oil and gas. Nowadays, it's all-round development of technology in the drilling operation not only help in making the drilling operation faster and safer, but at the same time helps to monitor and download problems, geological information on real time and hence increase efficiency. So use of technology doesn't mean that only to make the hole, but it is the efficiency. Then only you can survive in this competitive world. Because E&P industry, the world, we know that nowadays there is no easy oil. So all the easy oils has been taken already discovered and taken out. Now people are going for the more deeper and deeper horizons, more technical process so that they can take out more oil at the same time. So that's why it is called is a technology-driven structure. So development of drilling technology, this is a story. So you can go through. So one type of drilling technology is the important technology development takes place in the rig types. When people come to know that there is oil in offshore development and taking place different. So initially drillings has been, that's why onshore rigs and offshore rigs. Onshore rigs are conventional, fast moving and heli transportable also. And offshore rigs, you know that bottom supported floater, semi-submersible. Nowadays, since all these semi-submersible shallow water has been exploited like anything, there is not much oil in shallow water. So people are going to deeper and deeper water depth wells. So for deeper water depth wells, the deeper latest generation like this generation drills which have been made around the world and have been constructed around the world. So this technology development is always going on to meet more challenges, to meet more challenges and more problematic areas. So similarly development with technology. So 2000 to 2000, this of course I'm sorry for this slide is limited up to 2000 only, but up to 2020 also, these developments is taking place around the oil, around the E&P industry. First, we are talking about this is a table we want to show that how the different technology is taking place or developed with time. In 1900 years, there is only roller and that technology was used. And in 1925, UV has been developed and multi-system has been developed. and bearing rigs has been developed. Earlier rigs, and 1920, you see, first time electrical logging has been developed, and that too is sometime in 1925 to 1950. Electron log has been developed. So in 1950, you can see the top drive has been developed, EDC has been developed, insert lateral, and gamma ray has been developed. And in 1950, only semi-submersible rigs are coming up in offshore wells. So before 1950, there is no offshore wells. Only maybe 1940 onwards, there are offshore wells have been developed.
Last chance.
And after that, you can see sometime between 1950 to 1975, and in between, and maybe 1970, MWD has been developed, subsea expressway has been developed, Jacob rigs are coming, there is a deeper wells. And 1975 to 2000, 1985, most of development, technical development has taken place during that time. So MWD also coming up during that time. And the horizontal drilling is coming up, dual activity drill ships are coming up, LWD, RSS, stable system, PCP, guns, expandables, these are coming up during that time. So that is development that question has drilling with expandables and dual activity drill ships. That means you drill and you produce. Same time, the drill ship may work as a production setup also. This is dual activity drill ships. So emerging drilling technologies, so rotary stable system, logging while drilling system, enrolling system, azimuth control tool, gyro surveying, specific objectives, information requirements, fixed TBL tools, body pipe, mud engineering technology like SOBN, casing grab systems. Though these are the drilling, so this is understanding how the technology has been developed deeper and more complex areas.
Let's clap hands.
Deep water wells. So this is one of the drill ship, offshore drill ship. This is one of the not drill ship. This is semi-submersible. This is a drill ship. So I am talking about the Engg drill ship. Now this is technology how to work in deep offshore. So earlier the Engg drill ships were used to maybe up to go up to maybe 300, 400 meter water depth. So for a 400 meter water depth, you have to use anchor length of about 2 kilometers, which is very heavy. There may be another 8 to 9 anchors to keep the drill ship in place. So this is limited. So when the requirement increases, going up to the 100 meter or beyond 1000 meter or 2000 meter, then this anchor drill ship will not work. So then these are the, you see how the anchor is handling. This is the anchor handling method. So they will lay the anchor, 8 anchors, to keep the position of the drill ship or the semi-submersible in place.
At the same time, I also ask
now,
you
when you go for the deeper well,
so only if
deeper
you have
water
the
well,
smartness
so
and
anchor will not
escape
work.
from the
So
problem,
there you use the dynamic positioning system.
okay?
How this dynamic positioning system works is a very big technology. So I am just naming the technology. What is the dynamic
So that
positioning?
you are safe.
This
Then
is
you put the
ocean rig, really having dynamic position.
That's what you have to see.
And dynamic positioning system.
And you're free
These are
to
dual rigs. These are dual rig drills. So one rig is making one hole, another is push it together to places.
So if you have any doubt,
Drill ship concept. So this is very highly technological drill ship where everything is controlled or computer controlled, and human intervention is very less. So the engine, so these are all everywhere the technology is there. The engine also. This is a very high powered and high sophisticated engine. These are remotely controlled. They are maintenance, everything using their nowadays internet on tools. IoT. So that technology is to maintain this type of remote. So that's why it is reducing downtime. So technology applications is everywhere now.
As you read this, the healthier the
And this
tree,
is thruster.
the better the fruit.
This is rotor thruster, so it is a very
If you take
all
it
you
yourself
see.
carefully, you can become some use to it.
5,500 kilowatt
Let's go
So
on.
it is
What are
power
you
of
made
this
of?
cluster is only
In a guess,
5 megawatt, you can see,
what is he made of?
right? So this load bearing capacity of the drill ship is just unimaginable capacity. You cannot just think of just like that.
Thank you for
So
all
this is the, you know, the compensating
Let's go
system.
on. What are you made of? Any
There,
human
you know,
being,
there are
what are
6
you made of?
independent motions in ocean while we walk there. The drill ship
Yes, sir.
is suffering from 6 kind of
Energy,
independent
motions,
motions. It may
energy,
roll, it
very
may
good.
heave,
Good thoughts.
heave, it may go
Anything
up
else?
and down, it may go front and
All
back,
this
it
put
may,
together
it
in
can
3 or 4
roll
months.
also, it can rotate also. So to arrest all those kind of things, drill ship must have
Soul,
very
okay,
strong
SOUL,
compensating
okay,
system.
soul, okay, very good. That he's got one answer out of it. Any other?
Heave to mitigate the heave and roll. So this is one kind of technology I am just showing here.
Let's get a shot. Let's make it.
You cannot
For you to share.
think of.
Take care.
Yes, if you not
Soul
work
is
on
one.
it, you
Anything
cannot
else?
think of how big this technology is and how all technologies are working on the basis of the science and engineering application. It is nothing but a hydraulic compensating system. So hydraulic oil is used only.
Very important.
The design is the main thing. It is this ground compensating active. Active compensation based on it is mounted on the top of the belly. So cylinder stroke is 7.6 meter. Length of cylinder is 2 big. Maximum big heel 4.6 meter. 4.6 meter height heel or weight it can compensate.
I'm going to have 3 volunteers
So
to just
those are the technology applications.
Yes, sir.
Details we cannot go here. So it's very there's no point going into details. But if you want to work there, you have to know all those kind of things, all these things. The riser tension system. Another is that while you drill,
Somebody said
your beat is connected to your drill ship, but in between there is the ocean waves are there, ocean currents are
Somebody
there.
said body.
So the riser tensioner system only
Around this
used
body that you can see here.
so that
Now,
your
there are few other things
beat
inside.
is not impacting the formation due to up and down motion of the oil. So that compensation is done by the riser compensation system.
This is the physical
So
heart
this is
of
also
something else.
technology development by seeing the working atmosphere of the in the sea.
Nothing else.
This is a drill ship
Mine,
for drive. Grinder kind of technology used in all kind of rigs nowadays. And onshore rigs also these drives are used. But these are very rugged tool based on these small engineering applications, small scientific laws and engineering applications. Suppose small, what should I say? Why should I am telling about small? Because this is mostly electrical motor driven equipment, or sometimes hydraulically driven equipment. So hydraulic power, we are just utilizing the hydraulic power, which is the basis of any engineering application. So only to utilize this thing in the technology, make a technology like. You know that gamma ray. Gamma ray, how we measure the gamma ray? So we know that gamma ray can be by Geiger counter only. So it is a Geiger counter technology, Geiger counter application. So that application is being engineered to measure the gamma ray or gamma content or gamma count in a formation. So this is the application. This is the scientific law, scientific what should I say? This is the science that has discovered that gamma ray is there, but to measure the gamma, that Geiger counter is developed, and that Geiger counter is utilized in the gamma ray to measure the formation gamma. So these are the applications, how the engineering and science work together to develop the application. Hello? Yes, so drill ship, draw. So these are the, I'm talking about mainly mud system. I'm talking about mainly offshore technology. So capacity, these are the very big things actually. This is one of the very, is a BOP. So 1930 BOP and now 2020 offshore BOP is completely different. It's a very high technique thing, high technology based thing, and with highest application of engineering like metallurgy and all. So this is so our technology developed. What is the main term? Our technology developed as you see the problem. When there is a problem, our mind works how to avoid that problem. So therefore that a technology has been developed. Something like that. So it is in offshore shallow hazards. How to avoid the offshore shallow hazards? This picture is showing that how you can encounter what are the problems in offshore shallow areas. So this is the total picture of how a deep water offshore is working. Where the BOP is situated, where the riser is situated, where the wellhead is situated, and where the rig is situated. You see, everything is shown here. So everywhere is technology development. Everywhere, riser technology is a big technology. So this riser, this is about the 20-inch and very high metallurgy riser, and this has to take the pressure of the offshore from the reservoir pressure. So these are very like casing things. So this is technology that we use there. And riser loading. How riser loading is how it is a current, how current and riser tensioner are working is shown here. So how the current, the drift of and current is being taken care in a drill ship or in a semi-submersible. It is shown here. For that, what kind of flex joints are there in the riser system is shown in the other side picture. So this is the riser, actual picture of a riser. This is the ROV, while it is going, is a remotely operated vehicle going down at the sea bottom and sits near the BOP and see the wellhead all the time. So this is how this is first sea bottom. How well is spudded. This bottom you can see there is a funnel-like thing. So these things are first placed there. Then you run the bit and enter there. So while entering, because of your movement of this drill ship or this thing, you have to be very careful to enter that funnel. So this is the technique. So very high skilled person is used as a driller who can see that if you cannot, because the ship is moving up and down and sideways also the front or back, so you have to enter there. But if you are not able to enter in proper time, then you may break the bit and everything has to pull out. So this work where technology and technique works together. This is one kind shown here, how the current wave and currents are taken care of in a drill ship. Formation evaluation tools. One of the latest development is the formation evaluation tools like measurement while drilling, logging while drilling. These are the specific tools developed recently to see that was the formation actually bearing, oil or gas or no, nothing. So this is one kind. Another kind of technology developed is the remotely operated monitoring, remote monitoring. Since this nowadays oil and gas operation is very risky and very costly, and so this operation needs constant monitoring by a very high skilled person sitting somewhere, maybe in base office. From there, he can direct all the operation, how is to be considered, how is to be conducted, and feedback, and foresee any problem beforehand, and the corrective measures to be taken accordingly. They would direct. This super skilled person sitting beyond the rig somewhere else, he can direct the operation by a remote operating center, remote control center, remote monitoring center, whatever you can say. So these are the systems nowadays used to remotely control the operation of a drill ship. This is also one of the latest technology. Now, rig is drilling in maybe Bay of Bengal somewhere by a company, say BP. BP is having his central office in Houston. He can direct the operation in Bay of Bengal, sitting there and control the operation, and he can foresee any problem beforehand and offer mitigative measure accordingly on time or before time. This is one of it. Pharmaceutical logging, well monitoring remedial issues. For precise management with new age tools like seismic while drilling and unrelevant near-bit information for proper decision making. This is also one kind of technology, but not used very frequently. These are very costly technology. But and offshore regulations. But only that technology will not work alone. But you have to abide by the regulations also for a successful operation. So these are the regulations generally we are following in offshore. So we have to, while you go for offshore operation, you have to see these aspects also before going into the operation. So hello.
Yes,
hello?
sir. Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Any question?
Someone mic is on. I'm trying to mute it.
Muted.
Yes, sir. Now it's muted.
Hello?
Yes, sir. You can please proceed, sir.
Okay, no question. Okay, so while working for any project, so we have to see, especially in offshore, we have to see the legal requirements. So well worked out and in place of oil spill response plan and where we tell. Oil spill is one of the very hazardous operation. Generally happens in offshore. Offshore oil spill is very dangerous, not like onshore. Onshore is just you can mitigate and you can control also. It has got a limited effect of area. But in offshore, it can spread to any place. And its mitigation measures are very widespread. So you have to be careful about the oil spill measurement also. For oil spill also, there are various techniques. So that is to be consulted and that is to be in place in case of any emergency. So that's why when you go for a project, you have to see in totality, especially in offshore areas, it is far more widespread regulatory requirements required. And apart from that oil spill, there are disaster management plan in place, major risks like loss of station keeping. Station keeping means we are drilling by keeping the rig in one place in offshore. But onshore rig, there is no problem because you do not lose the station keeping. But sometimes if there is a shallow hazard, like say we are drilling, but due to very loose formations, the formation collapse and the rigs sits down or rigs go down, sinks down. This may also happen in various onshore areas. So this is also called station keeping. So those kind of situation happens and we have to be very careful to avoid those kind of situations. This is station keeping in offshore is a very big problem because due to ocean current or due to storm and all, sometimes or due to excessive heave, sometimes this anchor breakdown. If one anchor breakdowns, the station keeping is disturbed. So this is one of the situations where we have to be careful, and for that, sufficient technological backup should be available on the day. And collision. Sometimes collision is also, of course, remote thing, but some moving ships sometimes coming to the near to the drill ship and it collides with. So there is blowout and fire. We know the offshore blowout and fire is very dangerous. Recently happened in 2011 in GOM and hurricane is one of them. medevac and fatality accident, helicopter crash. So these are the catastrophic events in offshore. We have to be taken care while planning the well. Regulatory regs, so we are just another things that government rules are there, so we are not going for that billion. Oil spill regulatory requirements. So BP's estimation paid 40 billion in November 2010 for the Macondo disaster. So oil spill is a huge liability for any company in offshore. So there are so many rules and regulations and technology are there, but once it is happened, no technology in a big in such a big scale, that technology may be overwhelmed, may not be able to control. So
Let's clap for her also. Thank you very much.
oil spill is one of the major risks
Very
happening generally
well thought.
offshore. Not in general, but once it happened,
Okay,
it's very
keep going.
difficult to control.
This is an activity which I
So
want to
there are
want
laws
to keep doing it.
and regulatory
The reason I am
requirements
telling
in
this to you,
India.
நான்
So
college படிக்கிறதுக்கு
regulatory
யாரும்
requirements,
சொல்லித்
Director
I did not
Hydrocarbon
attend
DGs
such a
and Director General Shipping,
Institute
Director General
sponsored
Indian Coast Guard are the main regulator for offshore
But that time I was
oil
a medical
spilling.
college.
Regulator
so
under
I was
Merchant
mostly the
Shipping
what?
Act 1958,
Yeah,
Merchant Shipping
healthcare
Regulation
seminars.
Commission Act
On the bus and
1972, and Port by Port Authority
But I want
Coast
to take
Guard.
this activity. India, if you have problem
Central
with your
Pollution
body,
again,
mind,
and
soul, and
also
spirit,
we have Central
go back to
Pollution
this
Boards
list
and
and see
state
how we can
boards
correct
are there.
this.
National
Many times we
Community
mix
Plan
it
for
up.
combating oil spill.
Negative
Is
stories,
that
negative
Coast Guard and
information. I'm
organizations.
going to
So
give you
there are
certain
regulatory
simple tips which I
oil
have
spill
learned and
policy is
share
there.
with you. Okay. First,
So
take care of your
cleanup measures.
what are the two organs that you see here?
Coast Guard responsibility lies beyond port
Eyes
limits.
and
DGIC has our responsible appropriate
computer
responsibility.
language the best one. These two are known as
When things go wrong, this
input
may happen.
devices.
So this is the
Correct, na?
disaster, this is the blow.
Of course, number
So people
mouth
work.
is also an input device, but
So
the highly impacting organs in
this is one of the-
no?
I will finish it here.
So
I would like to take up some questions.
But I consider these as
Again, I have one more slide
disorder.
where I would like to talk about the SOBM, which is one of the recent technological development in mud engineering.
But
For
I
use
let me
in
tell you this.
offshore
It's
wells,
very, very
especially
If your eye
very
is
problematic
kept
areas
clean,
of
not literally clean. The eye drops from the
such of problematic areas I am talking about, where drilling
What do you
is
see?
very difficult.
Okay,
Using the water-based
what do you
mud.
see on
So
your phone?
one kind
What
of
do you
mud
see
has been
on your
developed,
computer?
which is
What do you
called
see
earlier it has
on
been
the
developed
internet?
as OBM,
What do you
oil
read
based
on the
mud,
books?
because of
All
OBM has
that
got
will
so
go and
many
get
negative
stored
points
where?
on
Fourth aspect of the human
environment.
body. It is
So another kind of mud has
body,
been developed, that is
mind,
simply
spirit,
oil
and
based.
soul.
So I will be
நீங்க என்ன
presenting
பார்க்கறீங்களோ
based
அதெல்லாம்
on
download
in my next presentation. I will
So
like to
whenever we
continue.
are in need of
And in
something,
the meantime,
we drop
if you
from
have
there
some
and bring it
questions,
to
I
our
would like to
minds.
take these questions and like
So
to
if you
answer.
see positive things, clean things, tidy things on the book or
Hello?
even in phone or laptop, you are safe. கண்டதே பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னா இன்புட்ல என்னதான் ஸ்டோர் ஆயிருக்கும் உள்ள ஒன்றாவே தான் ஸ்டோர் ஆயிருக்கும். Okay? Remember in the beginning I told you we do a lot of de-addiction counseling for gadgets. And most of the teenagers and college students who come to us for counseling, their main problem is this. Sir, or they call Anna, they say, Anna, I have a problem, I'm unable to sleep, I'm unable to concentrate on my studies. Another problem. Because of what I see on my phone. பார்க்க கூடாதெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு படிக்கணும்னு நினைச்சா படிக்க முடியும். Take care of what you see. I'm just cautioning you as your elder brother, be careful of what you watch on your phone. See, internet is filled with everything. Good things, bad things. But as I told you again in the beginning, the butterfly video எல்லாமே யாருக்கு இருக்கு? எது YouTubeல எல்லாமே இருக்குது. If you want to see clean, neat, beautiful, motivational things also you can see. If you want to see dirty, unwanted things also you can see. Choices in your hands, in your finger, of which link you click, which video you choose. It's in your hands. The content clean இருந்துச்சுன்னா உங்களுடைய soul, your inside of your body will also be clean. English there's a statement, Tamil also they use that. Face is the index of your mind. இல்ல அகத்தின் அழகு சில பேர் முகத்தை பார்த்தா அகத்துல என்ன இருக்கு just by their eyesight, by the way they walk, by the way they talk. அவங்களுடைய hand movement வச்சு தெரிஞ்சா what
Good morning, sir. Sir,
All
Prashant
unwanted
Mani
things
here.
are stored in that will come out.
No, Prashant.
That's number one. So take care of your eyes.
Sir, thank you, sir.
I'm also wearing specs. I
So
also recommend you.
participants,
If you
I
have
think
eye problem,
participants have
please go to
no
eye
query. So
doctor.
if any query, I will
Check
share
my
with
That
you.
is for your
So
physical eyes.
participants, once again,
But what you
you are
see through the
requested.
eyes
If
will
you have
show
any
in your
query, you may
soul.
ask
So the first
Honorable
thing
sir.
I very humbly tell you, my dear friends,
Or you may write on our chat box also, so that we can share it with sir.
Right.
From today, you need to make a decision. From 11th March 2022, very consciously choose what I see. வர எல்லா லிங்க் வாட்ஸ்அப் ஃபார்வர்ட்ஸ் கண்டதையும் பார்த்து எல்லாத்தையும் ஸ்டோர் பண்ணீங்கன்னா you will have problem. I'll show you what is the impact of not having
So I think there is no queries from participants side.
Yes.
So
What's the problem with ears? What
so
will
we
happen
may
if you don't take care of ears?
conclude our session.
Physical ear.
So on behalf of everyone present in this program, I want to thank and appreciate Honorable sir for his insightful and interesting presentation on the important topic that is your drilling technology. And as also I think participants also found the presentation very systematic, informative, and enlightening. And I believe everyone felt the same. Sir, Honorable sir, your lecture have covered all the important aspects of your drilling technology. So it was our pleasure to listening to you. And once again, from participants as well as from different university, sir, thank you, sir. Yes,
Prashant, I
sir.
have a small presentation regarding SOPM. Would like to hear again present.
Okay. So there is another presentation also, no, sir?
Yeah, a small presentation on SOPM. Okay.
Yeah.
People talk very sweetly.
Let me see how to go there.
They'll do positive things. நம்ம போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் பின்னாடி பேசுவாங்க.
I'll go where?
நம்மள பத்தியே பாசிட்டிவா பேசுவாங்க, பின்னாடி என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? Don't allow negative inputs to come into your yes, gossips, wrong messages, fake news, fake information. இதெல்லாம் உள்ள போட்டீங்கன்னா அதுவும் இங்க தான் பேச போறாங்க. You also be stored in your soul. It disturbs you. You won't be able to meditate, you won't be able to pray, you won't be able to study, you won't be able to grow up in life because all these negative things are in your soul. That's why I want to tell, keep your eyes and ears very careful. What you see,
Help me to go to my presentation.
okay? Will you do that?
Sir, another slide, different slide, or it is continuation of this present slide?
Art.
No, it's a
Physical heart
different
is not
slide.
going to get easily will give an answer.
So you have
I'll
to
go
close
cardiologist,
this slide,
I'll
then
go
I have to
treadmill,
go.
I'll go for checkup.
That's
master
what I
health
want to
checkup,
go with
excellent.
now. If I
But I'm
leave
not talking about that pumping
and come back.
heart is here. I'm talking about the mind. Which
No need of leaving, sir. On the right side corner, top corner, there is a close button is there. No? You can
They
close
want
it.
to
Then
you to
again you
build up certain things.
it
This
is
is
not
what.
First thing, many of them have problem with this. Correct now?
Okay. So it is actually
There's English code which says angle is
now-
one letter short of one letter short of danger. You add D to the front, it will become danger. Anger is one
Advantages of
letter short of
sympathy while yes.
danger. If you don't know how to control your anger, you end up in problem. Either fighting
this small
with friends,
presentation, but I
or
like
it
this
can happen at home also.
system.
Most of your hostels here are those who come from home. Place college, no? Outside also probably you stay
So
outside.
this is another presentation of industrial technology. You can say this is one of the used in drilling industry is that SOPM, synthetic obvious mark. OBM has been used since long.
We hurt people so much, so easily
But
because they are unable to
OBM has
control
got
our
some
anger.
negative impact on the environment.
Second
Very
thing,
much negative impact.
get rid of your
The phase potential control generally doesn't allow to use this mass system
one letter short of your
in drilling operation. So that's why to meet that
So Perumal is very, very bad.
this
You
same
think
advantage
that
of
you are
OBM, one mass
you may not tell it outside, but the moment you think you are in trouble.
and the advantage of SOBM
Get rid of your
on this.
pride. Second,
I am
after
giving
our
this
break, I will tell you
importance
story
on this
of
system
how things
because
changed.
now
And the third thing that we most of us struggle is
now drilling is not very easy, and we are going deeper and deeper also in very difficult areas for drilling. In some areas where the formation is such that it is giving all the
it's common. Many
formation
times
is
people
giving
get into
problems,
relationships, no?
and thereby making drilling is a difficult task.
Confusion.
So
But
to
whatever it is,
avoid
I'm
this
not about God made man.
like recently, I have
remember,
done one
relationship with
project
Mohammed,
in Oil India
it is
itself.
intended that we love, L-O-V-E.
They have
the other person.
wells
Love covers everything.
drilling
But unfortunately,
4,400 meters, but they are having all the whole stability problem in
by the looks
irrigation
of
and
people,
pump
we
section.
love them.
So,
Church did not love it.
and they are using
Thus,
normal SOBM, normal
struggling with that
water-based
today, I
mark,
want you to
and
clean up
they are
the
having
dust.
all the problems of
Every clean
caving
Second
or
one.
deep bowling up,
Third one,
bamboo
hatred.
shells, and everything are there. So to avoid that,
Parents could go, your friends could go, school.
at least they have not used till now, but they have used a defined random SOBM, I mean
You are
water-based
harboring
mark,
hatred.
that is
very
called
dangerous. It will
developed by Halliburton, I believe.
paramedical guys, I
That
can
is
very
a
authentically speak. Hatred
high
destroys the health.
performance water-based mark.
Destroys the heart,
So they are using
destroys your
two
liver.
chemicals which
So be very
work
careful of
X
getting out
just
of
like
hatred.
a
Other
SOBM,
danger.
but not SOBM, so that it will help them
You
in
want to be a
avoiding
careful,
whole stability
self-trained
problem.
person,
There
laziness has
is
to
a
go
main
out.
is a whole instability problem.
What is this in Tamil?
So to avoid that, they have used this high performance water-based mark. But if
சொல்ல மாட்டோம், but you will think.
can use
Watch
against that high
girlfriend, boyfriend,
performance SOBM,
handbags,
which may be less
whatever,
clear than
couple, Kamal, everything.
water-based mark.
We'll be only very
So
close friends.
that's the
Jealousy
opinion of the
this person.
people now.
Jealousy and
They
pride,
can
I
use
tell
the
you, are
SOBM
dangerous.
also.
It's like
That's
cancer.
why I want to
Don't take it
give
out today, it will spoil you.
some highlights about the
I'll go
advantage
quickly.
of this.
7. Accept it.
First,
Bitterness.
why do you need?
Keeping a record of all things. Friend are sitting basically.
Then what is the LPMO? Low tech toxic mineral oil and SOBM synthetic oil based
but the more bitterness will be there. Very dangerous.
constituents of SOBM package, toxicity LPMO and SOBM, advantage SOBM and disadvantage of SOBM. So why not WBM?
You did that to me.
First thing I
You
told,
made fun of me in front of all the
WBM,
girls.
water-based mark has got so many disadvantages,
And money from them.
especially where there is whole stability problem. Oh,
If you have vaccines in your heart, I want you to
the
remove.
mark parameter,
Because இதெல்லாம்
then
business
it will
self-care
get
பண்ண
all the
you won't be able to have
normal
a
problems.
healthy body, mind, soul and spirit.
Operation is very,
Struggling
very,
inside.
very difficult.
Unforgiveness.
You will have all
Wow.
kinds of problems
Very
like
powerful.
whole
This is
stability,
something which people
whole
struggle a lot. What is it? Tamil?
pipe sticking or making dog legs in degraded wells.
Okay, unable to forgive. Let me tell you this. Forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself, not to the person
That's
who
why
hurt you.
the WBM is not
Unforgiveness is a
working
poison
in
that you
properly
drink
same formation.
and you want
We
others
know
to suffer.
All India is
I
facing
repeat, Pandra, unforgiveness is a
problem of
poison
properly sales.
that you drink
And
and
they are
want
still
others
they are
to
having problems
suffer.
with
மன்னிக்காம
properly
இருக்கும்போது நான்
sales.
நினைச்சுக்கிறோம். மன்னிக்க மாட்டேன். நீங்க சொல்றோம்ல.
So properly sale is highly I mean
You drink it,
reactive
but you
to
think that person has to suffer.
water based and
Actually,
it is
who's
collapse.
The one who's
Not
unforgiving is
efficient
suffering.
at
So
high
if you're having
temperature.
unforgiveness with anyone,
Water based mud is not
right from your
efficient
parents,
at
brother,
high
sister,
temperature.
girlfriend,
Where
boyfriend,
especially
ex-friend,
where drilled,
future friend, whatever it
water
is.
based must cannot be used.
Yeah.
So interference
Then you
with
make a
flow and
decision.
oil gas through
Forgive.
brass rocks.
Very danger nowadays.
Yeah, so
youngsters.
it
What
is
is this?
sometimes we
Yeah,
call
sir.
it
Money
as
இல்லையா?
a porosity impairment.
Literally, let me
Impair
tell
value.
you, பண
So it
ஆசை
blocks the pores.
பெரிய பிரச்சனை இந்த உலகத்துல.
Promotes
Need money to live,
disintegration
but you should not
and
love money.
dispersion of clays.
And I repeat that, love of money is dangerous.
Disintegrate.
Love of money is the root for all
And
evil.
the clay is highly
Yeah,
becomes dispersed.
பண
in
ஆசை
water.
இருந்துச்சுன்னா மத்தவங்க கூட நம்ம எந்த நேரத்துக்கும்
Water must dissolve the salts. So in salt section, water based must cannot be used for
குடிக்க காசு கொடுக்கல.
for
Your
drink.
friends கூட வெளியில போறேன்னு
And
காசு
not
கொடுக்கல. Love of
efficient
money.
lubricant as
When you have
OPM.
love of money, you
It has
go to
got
the extent of
all,
even damaging your
all
society,
other
damaging people.
problem of increasing the friction.
I can go on, okay, and the list goes on,
It
but
will
today
again
I thought, I
increase
felt when I prepared
the
this, these things have to be
problem and all.
has to be
So can promote corrosion.
And the camera back over.
Corrosion also.
Next in your mind, if these
Corrosion
things are
is
there,
also. High angle extrinsic wells.
next 5 minutes,
Difficult
quickly go through this. This is a separate topic.
High angle and
But
extrinsic.
later I will
In the
come
waste
and teach, so you can learn
The
for
water
yourself.
basement.
If you want to self-care about yourself,
Showing
you need to be
disadvantage,
aware
especially the pipe
emotional
sticking problems and full
intelligence.
collapse.
This is a paka psychological topic, but we teach to many of our
The cell hydration
corporates.
mechanism.
Go to your
This is
jobs in another few years, definitely they
Platelet,
will learn
platelet, how
emotional
this
intelligence
soil
test.
in through small
It's so that
this thing.
people who have more
Animation, I like
EQ.
to, we want to show
What is that?
the pore pressure,
No, not like
the platelet, and so how
What
the
is IQ?
hydration of stress takes place.
What is IQ?
Forces holding the place together, overburden and cementation. The forces pushing the place
All those are
apart,
sleeping
pore
things
pressure
like
and hydration of stress. So the hydration of
Wait,
stress.
what is IQ?
It is on PSI, you see. The hydrational stress, you know, hydration stress. What is hydration stress?
IQ,
That
intelligence,
water gets
intelligence
information.
quotient. Okay, that's why we are studying in college.
Information gets
Where your
hydrated,
IQ is more.
it will
But
exert
let me
extra
tell you,
pressure
80%
on
of the
your
organizations want people who have
So
EQ.
that is called
What is that?
hydration stress.
Emotional
So
quotient.
status, especially is snack type,
20%
like
IQ
like,
means if you are brilliant in your
and
studies,
chloride
20%
iodine,
is enough.
most
But
dangerous
80% you are supposed to be
for
good at
water vessels.
EQ, emotionally how strong you are.
So,
In interviews, we have a round
these are
test
the
interview. After
OBM
interview, several
alternative
tests interview, both for college
WBM.
students and also
So
for
these are
recruitment.
the CSE,
They will excel. They would have got 8 CGPA, 9 CGPA in college. But stress interview ஒரு uncomfortable situation question கேட்டா என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? வேர்த்துரும் சில girls எல்லாம் வேலைக்கு போயிருக்காங்க. Sorry sir, I don't want the job.
NPT. That's
Why we are testing them? Because in the workplace, you have tough boss. You have tough colleagues. எல்லாரும் அப்படியே அன்பா கை போட்டு knowledge பேச மாட்டாங்க. எங்க வந்து பேசுவாங்க.
OBM and SSD or
Hardly get
OBM and
alone
SSD
பேசுவாங்க, boss.
is the best way.
Even in spite of all those pressures,
OBM
you
and SSD is the
work.
best way. Ideal alternative to combat TBC. That is the
That's
WBM.
emotional.
In OBM,
So if you want to take
ideal
a
is
picture of
used
their
as a
group
best.
water,
SSD is
so
the
first
best.
is knowing about
It allows
yourself.
some other
Second is managing
materials
yourself.
and etc.
Third is how people
But
behave around
OBM
you.
adheres
Fourth
to
is how you
environment
treat
and
other
dumping
people.
of cuttings.
Yes, this is a little part of
That is
emotionally
mainly.
handling
So
you. I
it
thought I
wouldn't
would
have
just put that.
the environmental
But okay.
tolerance. Two alternatives
What
are
happens
worked
if you
out.
don't have proper
One is that
self-care?
low toxic mineral oil with aromatic content less than 1%. And synthetic oil. LTMOs are derived from the same type of crude oil spills from which diesel oil, kerosene, gasoline, lubricant,
Body,
etc.
mind, soul, spirit,
So same oil, same oil stream, but having
in day-to-day
aromatic
basis,
content
நீங்க
is
சொல்லலாம். Medically,
only 1%. Aromatics are completely removed or less. These oils are composed of paraffinic or
mental
naphthenic
stress, very good. Super answer சொல்லிட்டேன். Yes, sir. Sleeping. Too there.
LTMO
Medically, what is that? You are unable to sleep properly.
mainly diesel oil, but with aromatic content is 1%.
எடுக்க முடியாது. Wrong, you will make wrong decisions also.
Characteristic of
And, you
LTMO
know,
is lowest irritability, high initial
சாப்பிட
boiling,
முடியாது சரியா? Okay?
high plastic oil, low viscosity, high ending point, low pour point,
Yes, you gave all the
low
answers.
point,
Very
low
important thing
aromatic
is you have
content, linear alpha or
increased stress level. You won't be able to concentrate. Okay, particular.
Consider LTMO,
Few seconds தான் பண்ணி முடிச்சு டக்குனு mind வேறங்க போயிடும்.
constituents, main constituent of LTM or
Smartphone use
LTSO,
okay, that's a
low
second
toxic,
you have seen
synthetic
that.
always marked.
Earlier on, few
is the
years
best
ago,
of
people used to tell attention span
primary
for any adult
emulsifier,
was 12
secondary
minutes.
emulsifier, lime, brine, organoleptic clay, or weighing material, with losses.
Okay? But
So these are the main
if you use a
constituents of
smartphone,
any
the attention
LTMO
span is
and
coming down to 7
LTSO.
seconds.
Advantage of LTMO and LTSO is
The reason is
not
because
related to
the
scale
kind of videos we see, the reels that you see, all these FB posts, shots that you see, all that are short. WhatsApp status every second of program.
During
So,
shorts, in short section, it can be used, it is not related to short section. And lubricity is very high. So minimize stuck pipe. Reduce stuck pipe.
If you don't take care of yourself, concentration is a problem.
Market employees 7.5% can be maintained.
You'll be irritated all the time.
Where
Stress selling my
focus is
irritation
very low,
very
it can be used very successfully. There is no
Then mismanaged
weight
time schedules.
7.5.
What is it?
Less than water
Mismanaged
can be maintained.
time schedules. The last one,
Portion control.
lack of
Very
motivation
good
to
portion
do better.
effects
Or
overall.
life or interest area.
And reuse, they can be restored and reused. And Pickup fluid, LTS ODM or SODM
I was
can
traveling
be used
I
as
was just traveling from
a pickup fluid. But nowadays, what pickup fluid
three
is
youngsters.
using is
What next to very focused.
So solution like that we are using very well for
I
production.
want to use computer
But that
science
may deteriorate it over time.
into agriculture.
LTSODM
His family is
SODM is
as
not
an agriculture
deteriorating.
background. It was very clear which course he
And
was
disclosure
studying, where he
requirement
would
of
get a job,
using
how he
LTSODM
would get
or
clear.
onshore
But in
or
no
onshore drilling.
He was telling a very interesting
Aromatic
answer.
content,
The last one.
content less than 1% can be under
What will do
integration
that?
to MOA can be used.
6 lakhs if I get a package, I will go. If they are not giving 6 lakhs, I will leave the company and go.
Aromatic
Like
content
interest
content is less than 1%, then it can be
because he is not taking care of his
disposed
inner self.
ESC, cultural
So friends, I would like to stop here
Drill cut is
and we'll
separated
go for a
from
break. When we
the
come back, we'll be
should
speaking
have oil
on.
less than
Can you guess what is the second half?
So drill cuttings, bulk drill
What is
cuttings
the topic
are
given to you?
after washing.
What is the second half of the
Less than
topic?
1%. it can be disposed of.
Program schedule.
If it is more than higher than 1%, then it can be brought back to source or to a designated
So we'll
place.
come back and have talk on personal branding, but I'll be very happy if you have questions.
Yes, sir.
Second half we can
But
answer
in
questions
Assam,
you can ask.
there is no such
Thank you very much for your patient
receiving
listening.
this deal cuttings of using SOBA. Because SOBA or OBA is very sparsely used in Assam areas. Disposal required for using LTS for offshore. Bulk discharge of drilling fluid is prohibited. In offshore, bulk discharge drilling fluid. Bulk discharge you can only drill cuttings can be removed. Only drill cuttings which have been separated in shell shakers can be removed at a controlled rate, not in bulk. Drill cuttings of any composition should not be discharged in sensitive areas notified by MOEF. That is the regulatory requirement. Drill cuttings water should be treated to conform to be limited by EPA. So biodegradability, you know that SOBM is highest biodegradable and low toxic. LTAMO is next to biodegradability issue, and diesel is very slow and incomplete biodegradable. So it is not dangerous, not to be used. So different SOBM cost is high. Kick detection is difficult. SOBM or LTM.
Whenever you find time, take some time.
Not used against
Right,
patient.
it's very important.
Against patient, it will give a different result and
Kindly fill in the
make you confused whether it is a oil bearings
We have
or
let
non-oil
me-
bearings. Rubber parts are highly treated by the oil gas.
Thank you.
Selection criteria of OBM. When to select, how to select. Must be synthetically produced base oil. So OBM, when you are to use that synthetically produced, that base oil should be synthetically produced. Oil has poor environmental image. So lower toxicity usually associated with synthetics. So synthetic oil, that's why it is called synthetic oil base. Optimize environmental factors, high aerobic biodegradability, low toxicity, and chloride free. Low health and safety risks. So avoid low class points, best which these are classified as inflammable. Low class point is SOBM some. So these are the advantage, disadvantage of SOBM, and I mainly go for SOBM because of this cell hydration problem. And Assam has got a very big cell hydration problem, and it is really very difficult to mitigate this problem using conventional WBM. Thank you. Any question, please? Any question, please?
Participants can unmute themselves, and if you have any queries regarding this session, can ask the question to Mr. Ghanagogoi sir. You can also write your queries in this chat box.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Yes.
I think there's no question from the participants.
Yeah. So I can leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your insightful and a very interesting presentation of.
Some questions appearing, but it is done.
Yes, sir.
Some questions appearing in chat box. I will see.
Yes, we have one question from O. Obu Libda. The question is, what is the reason behind not using SOBM in pay zones?
I have already explained. Use in the pay zones, it will be very confusing for you to really characterize the formation, reservoir formation, because it is the oil. Sometimes, you see, sometimes when pipe got stuck in the pay zone, if we use oil as a spotting fluid, it will give you a different kind of result. In the logging, in the log also, because log penetration, because definitely oil go into the formation, reservoir formation, your surface oil, that's base oil, will go into the reservoir formation and show the log characteristics like a oil bearing cell. So it will make you difficult for really analyzing the surface formation characteristics of the reservoir. We have one problem. I can give you an example. In one of my wells at the pay zone, we got stuck pipe, and we use diesel oil as a spotting oil to make the pipe free. And ultimately, we make the pipe free, and well was logged, and core was taken, because core conventional core was taken. Not conventional, sidewall core was taken. And all cores found to be very highly, your resistive, because of that diesel oil was used, and that was really misinterpreted thing, because it's not that much high. So we know that we have used oil, that's why it is coming like that. So that is the it may misguide you if you use oil against the reservoir formation. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So,
If you have any queries, participants can write in the chat box.
yeah. I have also so interesting slides here. I like to share with you what is the recent technology in RSS. Would like to hear?
Yes, sir.
So this is, I had mentioned this thing in my previous first presentation regarding the this technology that has recently developed. So one such kind of technology was RSS, which I have mentioned earlier, and I like to give some more light on this principle, on this technology. So I like to go through this. Let me see. Benefits of RSS, I like to go. So this is the RSS. This is not, of course, radio sound. It is the rotary steerable system. Okay. So I like to give you a history how this technology has developed. So first RSS system, vertical drilling system, was conventional continental deep drilling (KTB) project was in South Germany in late 80s. So RSS was developed in late 80s. System contains a linear bit inclination sensor, a downhole processor, steering lead on a stabilizer just above bit. System principle closed loop process. So these are the development of technology, how it has developed. Some questions has appeared, I have seen. Ma'am?
Yes, sir. One more question has been given by Obu Vidya. Sir, if you have an idea to share about the recent trends in POB technology after Macondo well incident. Sorry, BOP.
Was the later part of the question?
Yeah, to share about the recent trends in blowout preventer technology after the Macondo well incident.
Okay, so this is also here, I believe. Let me go through. Yeah, after Macondo BOP, BOP is saying, so similar BOPs we are still using with foolproof system, with fail-safe system. Macondo BOP was a good BOP, no doubt, but the foolproof system was not working. Fail-safe system were not working. When it gets delayed, so everything was failed. And one is failed, that the whole the blowout has occurred and it become unmanageable for BP to control that blowout with a BOP. Since BOP has failed, they cannot rig up another BOP on the top of the wellhead. So ultimately, one technology has developed. I'll start my my slides. One technology has been developed in. I'll come back. Here, maybe yes. Here. So you see, this is the latest technology breakthrough in well cap. The well cap technology has come into place now. Once the blowout is occurred, there is no means to establish, rig up a BOP there. Then well cap technology, breakthrough well cap technology. This is called breakthrough well cap technology has been developed. That's the off-sprat capping device. This is called off-sprat capping device. So off-sprat capping device, after Macondo industry has developed a device to cap a flowing well, which is a technology breakthrough. It's a technology breakthrough. It is a off-sprat, they call it a capping device. The cap is known as OSPRA, Oil Spill Prevention and Response Advisory Group, OSPRA. Well cap, a 15K well cap developed by Cameron and successfully tested and stimulated. There are only 3 or 4 this type of well cap around the world now. One is Singapore, maybe one is North Sea UK, maybe one is South Africa, and maybe one is in America only. So there is 4 or 5 this type of well cap, very heavy well cap is available in the world now. This is the new technology developed after the Macondo disaster. So I think I have sufficiently answered to your question. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Obulipta has thank you in the chat box.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So I'll come back to the my original. One kind of technology recently developed. Functional RTOC, and also I have PDCB development is also there. This is one of the fragile PDCB. This is, you see, this works like a auger like bit, which is a very old technology. Auger is a very old technology. Wood auger, we have seen wood auger. So it is auger type BOP, bit. So this is also recent technology in PDC bit. So this is National Oil Well barcodes, NOV bits are there, and Hindusthan drill bits are there. Geotech bits. These are very high technology bits, high end bits. We call it high end bits. So I'll start from here. These are the high end bits that is developed by various companies like Halliburton, Baker, Schlumberger, and all. So Habitable Chimera, this one of the hybrid bit camera developed by Becker is a camera bit. It's a combination of both roller and fisting. They call it a camera bit. So the success rate in this type of bit, we have success history in Mizoram, where we have drilled very hard sandstone formation from very top, about 3,500 meters with this kind of bits. So other recent developed Halliburton bits are also geotech PDC bit. These are also very good bits, recent development, and also national bits are also good. And this is PDC logic introduction by Fragrill. This is also, you see, this is other type bit in formation where the formation will be cut and lift through the slots of the bit, and after that it will lift out. So this is a very recent development bit. So PDC bit by RSS application. For RSS, the Ultra Drilling Technologies has developed a PDC bit optimized use for assemblies equipped with rotary stable system. Rotary stable system needs actually very high RPM first thing. So to have to make the bit good, we need very high GPM. So that means a high GPM means it gives high ROP, high penetration rate, and gives more generation of cuttings. So our aim is to our job is to leave the cuttings as soon as it is generated at the bottom at the base of the bit, so that no grinding takes place. So to have that facilities, so this Ultra Drilling Technologies bit, they have developed. You can see in the profile of the bit that the water course, I mean that circulation parts, which are designed in such a manner that as soon as it is generated at the bottom of the bit, it is lifted up immediately, so that there is no grinding takes place. This is one of the ways. So another is RTOC. As I told in earlier slides, the RTOC is one kind of technology developed to have multi-phases monitoring. So in earlier days, well was drilled in a remote place by the driller, and very less human intervention was there, very less skilled manpower feedback was there. Nowadays, it can be drilled anywhere in the world, and best of the best people can monitor the operation and foresee the operation and suggest mitigate operation and mitigating the problems. So this is called remotely controlled operating center. This is how we are using the remotely controlled operating center. So the benefit of the remotely controlled operating center is that you can foresee, you can see you can hear the well remotely sitting in a distant place, then what well is going to tell, what well is telling to you, and if there is any problem, you can foresee, you can suggest the mitigating measures and take action according to avoid that problem. So these are the basic advantages of RTOC. For example, say nowadays mudlogging unit is there. Every drilling unit has a mudlogging unit. So if mudlogging units, you can monitor only 2 or 3 parameters, like while drilling, if there is any gas or connection gas, it will show. If there is any torque increases, it can show. If there is any cuttings is more or cuttings is less in the vibratory scheme, it will tell. So a skilled person sitting in a remote area, sitting in a, I mean in his base office, he can tell that these are the things coming up now. Your torque is increasing, your cuttings are not there in this screen, so you may be cutting loaded. You circulate or you give a high speed to lift up the cuttings before drilling ahead. Something that way he can see or he can hear the well. So these are the expert people's work. So to monitor from remotely by the expert people, the RTOC is helping. So this is the RTOC. So benefit of RTOC. So MPD now managed pressure drilling also one of the major technology. Along with managed pressure drilling is casing while drilling. In most problematic areas where drilling becomes very complicated or very troublesome, you are not able to making progress or making hole, and you have all sorts of problems like hole caving in, stuck pipe, mostly stuck pipe. So to avoid that, those kind of formations, to drill those kind of formations in one hole, there are some technology has been developed. This is called managed pressure drilling technology, and there is also called casing while drilling technology. In casing while drilling technology, you drill with the bit, with a PDC bit, which is drillable again. So PDC bit, run with the casing and drill and set the casing there itself. And after that, in next thing, the PDC bit is drill out. So these are the new technologies coming up now. People are using, especially in those kind of formations where you have total loss situation. Suppose you have a total loss situation in upper zone before reaching the formation, reaching the reservoir, you have a very problematic zone of that total loss zone. You are not able to manage. Hello, I am going out of my battery. Let me see. Okay, please hold on. So this is how the back pressure is working in a managed pressure drilling. Our CD rotary control device. These are the equipments. These are the equipments, but this is also technology. This technology helps to carry out the managed pressure drilling. Back pressure drilling, Raja Bosta pump. These are the MPD simulator also there. So casing while drilling next. I'll go for the next section now.
So we have a question from Mr. O. Abulibda.
Yeah.
He's asking that in deep drilling, there is a new trend to use plasma bead technology rather than the ordinary PDC that may not favor conditions of high temperature in ultra deep wells. It is currently used in geothermal drilling. Sir, from your long experience in oil and gas, do you have any idea if the plasma technology has ever been used in petroleum drilling?
So far, I know. I heard the technology, but I have not gone through that technology also. To be frank, I don't know. This much I can say by sure that in India, this technology is not used in oil and gas. Maybe in USA or that side where geothermal drilling is going on, where it may be used. I do not know that. I don't have any information about that. Sorry. It's okay?
Okay, sir.
So I would like to give a few slides on rotary steerable. So this is the history of rotary steerable system, how it has developed. So in 1990, as Baker Hughes Intake developed the RCLS, rotary closed loop system. So this system we have used in Oil India earlier, not now. And the benefits, you see the benefits of RSS is mainly the giving better control of the azimuth and everything is better. When RSS is used, you have MWD, and so for that high displacement angle or deviated wells, this RSS can be used very well. In vertical also it can be used. In vertical wells, of course, nobody do nowadays except very deep or exploratory wells. So less risks of being differentially stuck. Motor BSA stays on non-rotated while sliding. In mud motor and RSS, difficult mud motors we have to keep the mud motor and above PSA in stationary position while sliding in. So there is a chance of sticking during that time. But in RSS, it is all the time rotating, so there is less chance of differential sticking. RSS BSA rotates all the time. Some RSS system has no rotating sleeves. Some RSS system has only external first rotates. So the better rate of penetration, PDM versus RSS. You can see these are the reds are the PDM and blues are the RSS. So ROP, as you can see, this ROP is always greater than the PDM. So better hole cleaning, it is continuously rotating. So this slides I will be definitely sharing with you. Typical surface rotary speed mud motor is 50 to 60 RPM, up to 80 RPM, but the RSS BSA can be 100 to 100 RPM you can use. So benefit are also better borehole quality, smooth. There is no sliding, there is no dog leg. It's continuously rotating. But in case of PDM, there is sliding, so your make hole increase, decrease, increase. But in RSS, you can make a smooth deviated hole. There is not much variation in angles and inclinations and azimuth. Now, what are pipe sticking with is sliding mode. So some pipe buckling issues in sliding mode. When you slide, you give more weight on the PDM, so the pipe got buckled. But in RSS, since it is rotating all the time, the pipes are not buckled. So this vertical drilling in highly deep formation in China Sea. So similar kind of wells we have drilled in Mizoram also using RSS camera bead. So this is called vertical drilling. So this is due to that high deep in that area, high deep, while you use the rotary system, due to high deep, the angle, the bit automatically slides off and making really deviated well. So to avoid that, we have used the vertical drilling. So that whenever it goes 5 degree more than 5 degree than vertical, it comes back to other side of the pad, walks and is come back to the normal position. That is the basic principle of working of the RSS in a vertical mode. So RSS taking principle are 3 principles are there: push the bead, point the bead, and hybrid deflection of drill bits of center. So these 3 principles are used in RSS. So these are the RSS development in the market now. Becker uses Autotech family. Becker uses the Autotech families are there. So Halliburton Geopilot family. Schlumberger Power Drive system. So these are different names. Weatherford Revolution RSS family. So these companies are making their own name. Other RSS system and APS technology is there. So they are making push type beat. Then gyro data, well guide is a point to the beat. And NOV they are making push the beat. There are VC drilling, they are point to the beat. So these are the companies they are making the RSS system with their parameters. So APS Sure Steer is one of the RSS system developed by APS. So there are recent technologies for studies. So very stable surface to do in-sim SIS design. These are the design parameters of design and utilization parameters of RSS. So it's RSS, utilize RSS power drive. This is one of the case histories. Rate of penetration I have shown already. So Indian operator drill 5,000 meter with 2 to 3 degree inclination in highly faulted zone with vertical system of RSS. I have just told you. So this has appeared in here. So challenges: maintain vertically high deep and faulted formation for coring and moving program. Observe high build tendency from offset wells. Solution: automated vertical drilling system, power B, 100% verticality seeking system. No input required from surface. Maximum weight on bit applied. not required for control weapon B. So what next for RSS? More robust systems to access more challenges target, more cost effective, higher. So wired type are more efficient in control download tools, including RSS and troubleshooting. Nowadays, wired drill pipe helps to come. So whose you can get the information electrically at the surface. Now we are depending on MWD, LWD, some pulse system. So this is more efficiently wired drill pipe. But these are very costly. These are the big technology I have shown already. So with this, I think I can conclude my presentation regarding RSS, big technology, RTO, PDM, what is it? Casing oil drilling, managed pressure drilling, and RTOC. I think I'm successful in doing that. Okay. Hello.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice.
I can take one or two questions.
Yeah. Any more queries? So one more is there. Is RSS HBA easy to handle fishing operations compared to conventional systems?
When this pipe got stuck, RSS got stuck. Generally, RSS generally do not get stuck in normal condition. But if you have a problem, suppose there is a sudden loss and whole collapse and everything is buried, then it is difficult. So fishing operation in RSS, not that RSS may get fish, may get stuck, and if when there are so many situations in occurring a fish, suppose a tool joint failure. This is unexcusable. Tool joint failure, unexcusable happening that may got fish. Then pipe sticking. If there is pipe sticking is there, so RSS doesn't get pipe got stuck in RSS because it is rotating all the time. But as I said earlier, if you face a total loss problem, suddenly whole mud got lost and whole is collapsed and whole BSA is buried, then of course you don't have any way to work, right? So in that case, whole thing will be very difficult to fish out. So your question was that, is it difficult to fish out the RSS? Is it that? So I think that in normal condition, not difficult to fish out the RSS. But in case I have described, when there is a total loss and whole is collapsed and whole BSA is buried, then it is difficult. Right? Thank you.
Any other query? I think there is none. So on behalf of everyone present in this program, I want to thank and appreciate Sri Gogoi sir for his insightful and interesting presentation on the important topic of drilling technology. I found the presentation very systematic, informative, and enlightening, and I believe everyone liked it. So your lecture covered all the important aspects of drilling technology. It was a pleasure listening to you, sir. So once again, from Dibrugarh University, I thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and speaking to us today. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Ronan. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, sir. So now we will have the break. Please join me again at 12:30. So next session will be on biomass conversion by Parikshit Gogoi of Nagaon College. So please join me again at 12:30.
This conference is no longer being recorded.